Okay, hey everyone. Nice to have our next AMA. These are being recorded. I think they're going to be shared in our YouTube channel, as obviously we have users around the world who might be working now or sleeping now or whatever that might be in our community. I'm dropping some alpha today. Some of it I think is really exciting. Some of it probably for some people more than others depends on what you care about, but you tell me afterwards. So I only have like 5 slides and also a landing page that's not obviously available, although it is, about a new partnership with Cello for Earth Day I'm going to share with you. So I don't have tons of like visual content to go through, but a lot of, I think, depth to the content I'm sharing regarding kind of where we are in our journey together. So going to the next slide, go to the next slide. Did it go to the next slide, Danielle?
No, it's just stay there in the accelerating the
Why
adoption.
do that sometimes?
Maybe in the meantime, I would like to mention something, maybe if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Well, thank you guys for being here. As always, it's a pleasure to have you guys. Thank you for the last month members who came to the community call. Um, Also, I made a private channel we call Edition One, who got the Edition One badge, the oath. And then we are gonna have the Edition Two, and I made some changes. I know you guys laughed because the lady was a little bit weird, but we made some changes as well. And so to let you know, Galaxy checks if you stay until the end to receive the oath. If you don't know what an oath is, it's an on-chain achievement. And basically, like the Boy Scouts achievements, you get a badge for being here and supporting us. We will have more campaigns with the AMAs, and you will get a chance to earn prizes such as Discord membership, tokens, NFTs, and the chance to get the Wheeler Maxi roll. And I want to give a special shout out to Andrew, who helped me test the oaths before. And if you have any questions, feel free to DM me anytime, as always. And also, if you see at the top right, you will see you will be able to see the chat box, so you can ask questions at the end, please. Thank you guys. And Boyd, take it away.
Thanks, Danielle. For some reason, when I share full screen presentation mode, it doesn't show you the new slide when I move slides. So I'm not going to go to full screen mode. So please confirm. Now I'm clicking on slide 2. Can you confirm it moved to that and you can see this slide 2?
Yes, I can see the gift card.
Okay. So I don't know how many of you who are on this call have been with us from the beginning. I can't actually see everyone who's on right now. But our early OGs in the Discord most of them came from the Next Earth community. And that's because our first product that we were going to decentralize and tokenize, IAMOB, which is something we've been building since 2018, 100,000 lines of code. It's commercially deployed in the US and Europe. It's a mobility network that integrates mobility services into like a software platform. It's a middleware platform. We have Uber and Bolt. We're the only company in the world that has integrated both of them. We have Tier and Voy scooter companies. We have parking companies. We have various services deeply integrated in that platform. I'm not going to waste more time on it because I've spoken about this many times with lots of you. A lot of you already know this story. That product is Web 2 right now, and we've postponed the Web 3 deployment of it because the market conditions were not right, including the tokenization of it. So we put much more of our focus now in blockchain on Wheelcoin. And when we first announced our partnership with NextEarth, it was originally going to be around that core mobility platform as we decentralized it. But because we postponed the decentralization of Wheelcoin, of IAMOB, we postponed partnering with NextEarth. And a lot of the people from the NextEarth community were disappointed about that. This is some serious alpha, I think, because people have been waiting in the Next Earth community and the Wheelcoin community for a long time to find out if we're going to do anything together. And this is just our first partnership. So we've had users, community members in Discord say one of the things they would love to do. Danielle hosted a poll for us to help us get insights from our community on what we should do about our discount program to make it more available to more people faster, because some people are complaining that it's cool that we have these discounts, but a lot of the discounts are only available in 1 or 2 countries, and we have people all over the world. So we decided to get more serious about bringing in some global discounts that could be valuable for people no matter where you live in the world. Next Earth, for those of you who don't know, is an Earth-based metaverse. So they basically have satellite images of the real Earth. They have virtual land you can buy just like any other metaverse, except, for example, you can buy the virtual land of the Eiffel Tower or of the Statue of Liberty or of the house you live in, but in the virtual metaverse version. And then they have layers of content on top of it. And they have a very big community. Last I knew, I don't remember the numbers, but they have the most amount of, I believe they still do, have the most amount of landowners of in the world. So they have a very big community, and some of them are part of the Wheelcoin community as well. So Next Earth is going to be making a formal press release and announcement about this partnership on Monday, but I decided to drop the alpha today because our team is already working on the integration, and it may go live as soon as tomorrow. I'm not guaranteeing it'll be live in the app tomorrow, but I know it's in QA now. So it's in our quality assurance. So, the dev team has to review all this stuff. The product team, our director of product in particular, reviews all developments before they're released to the public. So it's going to go live anytime, and probably before it's announced by Next Earth. So I wanted you to know first in our Wheelcoin community that this is coming very soon. If not tomorrow, by Monday sometime, I would guess. Unless QA goes wrong and they end up being asked to do more work before they're ready to go live with it. So I'm excited about this for 2 reasons. It's coming full circle around our desire to partner with Next Earth. Next Earth, because they're an Earth-based metaverse, they're very interested and focused on the sustainability angle, on climate action. So there's a good synergy with the values of Wheelcoin. I'm glad we're finally doing something together. Again, this is just the first thing we're going to do together. And the other thing is I'm really happy about it being a discount that anyone, anywhere in the world can use. So it doesn't matter if you're in the Philippines or in London or in Barcelona or in Bogota, it doesn't matter. You can use this discount if you are interested. The discount is $50 off of buying virtual land in Next Earth with your Wheelcoin, which you've earned for free. So that's like $50 free for you. So we think it's a great deal. Next Earth is happy about it as well. So I hope you guys are too. I didn't mention this, but so I have like 5 more slides, 6 more slides, plus one thing I want to show you on the website. But we are going to host the AMA Q&A discussion too, right? So I don't have that much to present to you, but then if you have other things you want to ask me about, including about this or whatever, go ahead and do so. Danielle, what's the right way? I forget if they can do it inside the AMA chat or in another place if they want to drop questions, or do they just voice their question?
Yeah, they can raise their hands if they want to talk, or we have the chat box here.
Perfect, thanks. Okay. This is an updated timeline of where we are in our journey. Now, it doesn't have the long roadmap of things we want to do. Actually, we're working with Danielle on an updated roadmap for the product itself, but it does give you a bit of sense of where we have been, where we are now, and where we're trying to go, as well as some evidence of kind of progress we're having together as a community. So, we scoped out the launch of the Wheelcoin in summer last year. We launched the beta in October last year. We started offering Wheelcoin for businesses. I'm going to share more about that. Our first client started joining in January of this year. We've now connected wallets, so we've connected Valora and MetaMask to the app. We deployed the OG NFTs. We've connected the NFT to your wallet to the app in the sense that now if you have an NFT in your wallet that's connected to the app, it's reflected in your earnings. And if anyone hasn't checked it and wants to confirm that, you go to WheelCoin, the main landing page. At the top left, you see WHL earned, and you see an I button for information. You click on that I button, it'll tell you what your daily limit is today. And for example, my daily limit is 4. Yesterday, I got close to that, actually. Yesterday, I was at 3.66. And until we had the NFTs, I was capped at 2, like all the OGs were. Now I'm capped at 4. So I used to only earn 2 a day, even when I could have earned a lot more. Now I can earn up to 4. But actually, some of our users have figured out, we didn't formally announce this yet, but we decided to do this, even though it wasn't the original plan. You can stack NFTs. So if you have 2 NFTs, I know some of our community have done this already. If you have 2 NFTs in the same wallet, you actually get +2
Yeah,
to your cap.
Andrew is the champion here. Yeah, many.
Awesome. So if you have 2 as an OG as your daily cap, and you have an OG NFT, now you got 4 as a daily cap. And if you get another NFT, you can actually earn up to 6 in a day. So for people that move a lot, they could actually earn a lot more. And the other benefits that are coming for NFT ownership, like the impact on the airdrop of WFT or governance token, if you get a subscription to WheelCoin, which is coming very soon, a subscription is going to offer you a ratio of basically like 50% of what you earn in WHL a day, you will also earn in wheelies. Wheelies, as you might remember, are the discounts that we used to call them credits. Now they're just called wheelies. The difference between wheelies and WHL is WHL can only be earned by moving green. Wheelies can be earned in different ways, like for referring your friends to download the app, maybe as a bonus for subscribing to the premium version of the app. So wheelies can be used for anything to buy inside the app. The difference is they're off-chain, and so they're not on-chain assets that you can, for example, sell. And we did that for very important reasons, which I've shared in the past, which is that, and I'm coming back to some really, I think, exciting alpha that no one knows, including Danielle. Even when we had our prep call, I didn't tell him about this yet, so it's a surprise for him too. But we did this because we believe very seriously that WHL will eventually become an eco credit, kind of like a carbon credit, but that only works as an eco credit if we dilute it by giving it away for other reasons. It has to be earned from moving green. Remember, 1 wheel coin is equal to approximately 1 kilogram of avoided carbon emission by moving green. The minute we allow people to earn wheel coin for things that are not related to moving green, we have killed the value of wheel coin as an eco credit. And I'm going to come back to that because the cool alpha I'm going to share at the very end of this is directly tied to that. Okay. So we've done this stuff. What our team is working on right now is bringing WHL on chain. I've seen the mock-ups. So what they're doing now is working on how you take your WHL that are off chain in your app and can migrate them to your wallet, and then bring WHL from your wallet to the app as well if you want. So that's what's being done right now. So the UX and UI and backend engineering to make that happen. It's being done now. I can't yet guarantee when it'll be done. I'd like to believe by the end of April, but I can't promise it. Definitely between April and May, which is why I put the date there. So if it's not this month, it'll definitely be next month. Subscriptions will definitely be this month or next month. I think this month. I think they're really close to ready, so probably this month. We have subtly released some non-OG NFTs, by the way, that are also currently on the Tofu NFT marketplace. So those will gradually be available as well in limited quantities. We released, I think, 10. And of course, some people are selling their OG NFTs as well. The difference between the OG NFT and the normal NFT is the OG NFT doesn't degrade. And it will receive a higher rate of airdrop value than the normal NFT. But the normal NFT that's an exoskeleton also earns you 2 Wheelcoin a day extra in cap, except it does degrade over a 12-month period. So by the end of 12 months, if you don't maintain that NFT, which you can do through like burning WHL and other things, you don't do that, or if you pay for a subscription, it doesn't degrade. So that's the difference between the OG NFT and the normal NFTs. WFT without paying for it. We have 28% of our total WFT allocation. That's 28 million out of 100 million total ever tokens. 28 million of them are assigned to a pool just for our community of users. That will basically operate like on a halving cycle, like Bitcoin does. So the people like you who are earlier users, as you move green, you'll also start to accrue WFT that will actually be able to be deposited in the wallet that's connected to your app already. But the other cool thing about WFT is that we have some exciting pathways. They're in the white paper. The white paper needs to be updated, but a lot of it's still fairly accurate. But there's a lot of really exciting ways token holders of WFT will be able to have an influence over what happens with revenues from Wheelcoin, as well as what happens with many important decisions that are coming. I can't share all of them yet, but there are a lot of things that right now we have to decide on our own because we don't have a decentralized DAO governance token yet. But over time, we'll be decentralizing more and more of the decision making to the WFT. Okay, so that's like a high level summary of kind of like where we were, where we started, where we are now, and where we're going over the next few months. I can't promise this date on the governance token release. That's why I have it as a target. Sometime in the next quarter, we're hoping, but I'm not guaranteeing that yet. Our key OKRs for Wheelcoin as a project, we've decided are Wheelcoin emitted and Wheelcoin burned. Wheelcoin emitted is a great proxy for growth of our community and engagement by using and the impact we're having as a global community. WHL is a proxy for carbon emission reductions we're achieving as a global community. Therefore, the higher number of WHL emitted, the better. But also, the more burned we have, the better, because it means we're creating utility for WHL. People value earning WHL. And of course, we don't like to talk about price of tokens and NFTs. That's not what we're trying to do as a founding team. But obviously, the more pathways you have for burning and sinks and all the rest for the tokens, the more stability you create and less volatility you have in the WHL reward token. And we're only getting started on things that will be worth burning Wheelcoin for, as you can guess. And then here's some other sort of metrics that we've been using. Like 25 partners have been signed for discounts. 8 or 10 of them are live in the app right now, but start coming live over a few weeks. We actually had to do some restructuring of our team to increase the pace of making our discounts go live because we were too slow at deploying them for my preference. So we have 25 signed, but 8 or 10 are live app because we have to go built inside the app and testing them before we can go live with them. I've mentioned a little bit about this, but I want to reinforce this. Wheelcoin is not only about all of us normal users who downloaded the app from the App Store, but an exciting and interesting path we've chosen to grow our community is also through partners. So we have 3 sort of core partners right now. Wheelcoin for Business, which I think we've now signed 10 agreements. In this slide, it showed 8, but I haven't updated that slide. I think it's 10 agreements. So these are companies who sign up for Wheelcoin. Their employees download the same app we have. The company signs up for it because what they want is anonymized data from the carbon emissions of their employee mobility. And the reason they want that is in the world of climate change and carbon reporting, there's something called Scope 1, Scope 2, and Scope 3 carbon emissions. I won't explain all of them right now, but Scope 3 is what Wheelcoin relates to. Within Scope 3, for many companies, the biggest source of carbon emissions is employee commuting. So it's employees moving to and from the office. You think about like our company, right? Like we're a remote company. We have engineers in India and Bangladesh and Egypt and Spain and I don't know where else. We have commercial people in the UK. I'm forgetting some people on our team. But anyway, the point is we're distributed. We don't have a centralized office. We work out of co-working spaces. I was in our co-working space yesterday. We don't manufacture anything. So we don't have a lot of energy consumption. But what we do have is people who are going back and forth to meetings, going on a flight to go to a conference. That's where our emissions come from. And that's true of a lot of companies, software companies, consulting companies, financial services companies. So all these companies are trying to solve this issue of how do they know how many emissions employees generate when they move around cities? How do they know? What we discovered by engaging with a lot of companies is that right now what these companies do when they're documenting and reporting their Scope 3 emissions for employee community, they do an annual survey of employees. And they do something like, on an average year, or last year, I should say, on an average week, how many days a week did you go to the office? Okay, I went 3 days a week to the office. Okay. How many times during that week, on an average week, did you go by train? How many times did you go in your own car? How many times did you go on a bike, etc.? And they try to use this data. You know how surveys are. You get like 10, 15, maximum 20% response rate, even when it's your own employees. So you don't get a high number of employees contributing the data. And the data isn't very accurate. Even if the employee wants to be accurate, how can you remember? And even if you do remember, you're still missing stuff. Like, how many times did you actually had to go to another office somewhere or meet a client in another place? And you don't remember that, 6 months later, and you don't know how you even went there. You did a taxi or whatever. So it's useless. So they like Wheelcoin for Business for that reason, to get this data, and because Wheelcoin is a great way to encourage your employees to move greener, which increasingly companies care about. We just started marketing Wheelcoin for business schools and universities for a kind of a similar reason. Also because universities and business schools are getting more pressure to do more around sustainability, to encourage their students and their professors to be greener in their own lifestyles, to add more sustainability into the education as well. So courses about it. So we're starting to get some interest in that. And for me, one of the most exciting developments, and this is very recent, is Wheelcoin for Cities, which is cities adopting Wheelcoin and encouraging their residents to download it and use it. And the main reason, so some of this for anonymized data, but actually most of the cities we're talking to mostly care about what we call in transportation nudging, which is cities have been trying to find a fun, gamified way to encourage more people who live there to leave their cars at home and take public transit and scooters and green mobility. And Wheelcoin for them is really exciting as a tool for that. I'm going to come back to that and get more information. So here's a couple of examples of companies who've gone public that they're using Wheelcoin for business. Both of these happen to be in the refi space, so regenerative finance. So they're at the intersection of crypto and climate change. And, you know, Mental Labs is part of the Celo blockchain, which so are we. Vanagon venture capital fund focused on regenerative finance investment. So the two companies signed up for Wheelcoin for business. Again, we have about 10 who've done that. I've only got 2 more slides. Here's some new alpha as well. Now, for now, I had to make this confidential, but we just got 3 cities in Scandinavia to adopt Wheelcoin for cities. They're the first cities in the world that are adopting Wheelcoin for this reason. And they've committed to 3 things, at least with us. First, they're spending their own marketing money. So if you see in this slide, it's probably not that obvious for you. Let me grow this. They have in their community these televisions and entertainment screens that show commercials, show information about transit line you're on, and promote things they want to promote. They're going to be promoting Wheelcoin inside their buses and trains and everything else with QR codes and everything to get more of their local residents to adopt Wheelcoin. How cool is that? So that's going to start in May and get really going in June. So we're talking about over the next 2 months, we will be able to be way more public about this probably about a month from today. I don't know the date yet when they're going to start this, but they said yesterday that it'll happen. It'll start in May. We're going to include a special edition of collectibles that highlight this 3 cities in Scandinavia that are joining this program. And I'm assuming we're going to get more cities around the world. And if any of you live in cities where you think you have contacts and they might be interested in adopting it, let us know. We would love to hear from you. And I'm sure Danielle will help come up with rewards if that turns into a partner for Wheelcoin. But one of the things we're going to do is our next collectibles collection now, after we complete this one, so we're pretty close to being done with minting of the current 100 collectibles. And of course, those will be going on chain. And once they're on chain, people can buy the ones they weren't able to get. I'm at 92% right now. So there's 8 gold ones I haven't gotten yet. And I can guarantee you I'll be buying them. Like a lot of you do too. So we're going to launch a new collection around that. And there's some other really cool things this region's going to do, these 3 cities. For example, they're going to offer discounts on public transit. So it's like the discounts we already have in our app, but instead of it coming from private mobility companies or from NextEarth, it'll be the public transit agencies. So the government is going to offer discounts for people who live there or visit there when they burn Wheelcoin. And they also want to have like a regional leaderboard and do prizes, kind of like we're doing right now with our global competition, but they want to host one through Wheelcoin for those 3 cities. So you can imagine this could be valuable in cities all around the world and could have community and our global impact through partner cities. And I didn't mention this, but the 3 cities that are partnering with us are in an initiative called Net Zero Cities from Europe. There's like 110 or 120 cities that are part of this initiative that are trying to get to net zero carbon emissions. So you can imagine why they definitely value what Wheelcoin can do to help. Last slide. And this converts to the website update and the last alpha I want to share. So this is going to be officially announced on the 18th. So you're the first people to hear about this. We're doing an Ultra Green Move-a-thon with Celo. Global challenge to encourage people to download Wheelcoin and contribute to an aggregate goal of carbon emission reductions from the 18th of April, so 5 days from now, until the end of Earth Day, which is April 22nd. There's something really cool that we're working on that I'm going to do right now. So let me change what I'm sharing so you can see the website. So I'm not showing you the link yet because we're not going live with the link, even though somebody might be able to find it, but you can't see it right now. If I don't click on that Wheelcoin, it just looks like on the Wheelcoin landing page. So the Ultra Green Move-a-thon, powered by Wheelcoin. This explains what it is. It's about us collectively achieving our goal of 10,000 kilograms of avoided emissions from 18th to the 22nd. That's our goal. Anyone who's using Wheelcoin will be part of this, so you don't have to do a separate sign-in form or anything. There's no personal prizes at the moment being planned, by the way, which is why you don't need to sign privately for it. It's anyone who's using Wheelcoin can be part of it. Now, here's the alpha. Okay, one more thing before I give you the biggest alpha of the day, in my opinion. This is going to be updated every day, where we show a map of the world and where the most amount of users who are contributing to this are. And this will be a meter that grows over the several days of the event to see if we get to our goal of 10,000 kilograms reduced. Okay, so here's the huge alpha. I think it is right here. Why is this such big alpha, in my opinion? Let's go back to what I said earlier about why we're so religious about not giving away Wheelcoin if you're not moving green. Remember what I said is that our vision is Wheelcoin becomes an eco credit, kind of like a carbon credit. Now, why is that cool for you? What will create value and utility for WHL? Having more discounts? Having more things you can burn and buy with WHL? Like collectibles that if they over time become more valuable, those kind of things, maybe NFTs, whatever. What about if there's demand for buying WHL? Well, that's really interesting, isn't it? Now it's no longer just about you burning it on things that you find valuable to you, but it could also be valuable to other people. Again, our goal is to creating some stability in WHL. I've said this before and I'll say it again. And I'll probably end up saying it 100 times more over the next year. I don't know, because I think we reinforce this. We do not envision that people will become millionaires from using Wheelcoin. It's not the goal. That ends up being a Ponzi economics model that's like, oh, I need Wheelcoin so I can get more NFTs, so I can get more Wheelcoin, so I can sell my Wheelcoin, make $1,000 a day. I have no idea how much people will make on Wheelcoin. I'm not ever going to do anything, because who knows? The market will decide that. Obviously, we have a role to play, because we need to make sure we design the mechanism so that we create some stability in Wheelcoin. And we look for ways to bring in more users. We look for ways to bring in more value and utility to Wheelcoin. But the thing I'm so excited about that is, I think, huge alpha, is that we've reached agreement with Celo that for those 4 days, so we measure in the app, we all see how many kilograms of emissions we've avoided from moving greener. But we also track at Wheelcoin in the back end. You don't see it yet in the app, except we are going to have this in the app, because people have asked for it. So it's in our roadmap that you'll be able to see how many emissions you generated. As in, like if I take a car for my, even when I take a train, it creates emissions too. I earn wheel coin because it creates less emissions than a car would for the journey. But let's say the car would have created 3 kilograms of emissions for the same journey, and the train creates 1 kilogram of emissions. Well, then I earned 2 wheel coin. But I still contributed 1 kilogram of emissions to the world because the train is not 0 emissions. So we track the emissions from all of the mobility of all of our users too. So what we've agreed with Celo is Celo and us are going to buy WHL from the community when it's when it's live, which won't be live by Earth Day. Our hope was it would be, but there's a lot of work on the UX, UI, and the back-end engineering to get this to work right so that the WHL can flow between the app and the wallet and be used inside for transactions. You can wire WHL from a decentralized exchange, bring that into your wallet, then bring it into the app. Various things like that, like making that work right, setting up liquidity pools in the Uniswap. Like there's a lot of steps to make this work right. And we want to make mistakes and we want to do it the right way. So I don't know when that's going to happen exactly, but as you saw in my timeline slide, I'm convinced by May sometime it will be live. And once it is, Celo and us are going to actually buy Wheelcoin to offset the emissions our community created over those 4-day period. Now, it's not going to be tons of money and I don't know, 100,000 Wheelcoin. It's not going to be that much, right? Because it's a 4-day window, whatever. But the point is, we're validating that there are pathways for external organizations like Celo to accept WHL as an eco credit and to pay for those, to buy them, to burn them, to do whatever they want with them. Once they buy them from the secondary market, they can choose to give them away to their community. They can donate them to low-income people who can use it inside Wheelcoin. They can burn them to get them out of the ecosystem altogether, which creates more stability in Wheelcoin. They can do. And this is something we believe will happen more in the future, especially organizations that are either really committed to sustainability and low carbon, but particularly if they have something to do with transportation as well. So like, imagine if you're an airline or you're Uber and you say, all right, yes, we're committed to carbon zero. We're not going to buy 100% of our carbon offsets through Wheelcoin because it's a different kind of offset. It's an eco credit for mobility, but maybe 10% of our total spend every year on carbon offsets, we're going to set aside for Wheelcoin and buy Wheelcoin. And why would they do that is because Wheelcoin is generated, it's earned, it's minted by you. You're mining Wheelcoin when you move green. And so why would you do that if you're Uber? Well, because you're associating your brand with thousands and thousands of people who care about green mobility, and Uber cares about green mobility, and increasingly more and more of their cars are electric, and they want to promote that, and they want to create some connectivity between users who care about earning Wheelcoin and their own carbon offset scheme. So we're validating and providing a proof point and starting to create demand for buying Wheelcoin. And remember, the only way anyone can buy Wheelcoin is if somebody earned Wheelcoin. They're not buying it from us, the company who made Wheelcoin. Why? Because Wheelcoin is fair launch. The only way Wheelcoin is issued is when people earn them. They're mining them by moving green. And if you choose to sell them in the market, then that's where they're bought from a DEX, not from us. Okay, so that's it. That's the big alpha. I think I shared 3 or 4 pieces of alpha today, but I'm done with the overall stuff. And I think I saw there's some messages coming in. Danielle, what would you like? Should I just start going through them all, or
Yeah, I marked them. You will see
for you?
no, I marked them. You will see like a question mark changing colors, black and white, in the comments. We have a
Hold on.
question from Nancy and one question from Andrew as well.
Hold on. Let me see, because I'm seeing a whole 12 days ago. I'm seeing like a whole stream, but I'm not seeing the messages just from today. Is it not an inbox? Where do I see it? Oh, I see.
Yeah,
It's in
yeah.
the chat. I was in the inbox for some reason. Sorry about that. Okay. Tisson said that's huge, and he said it at 6:28. I wonder which thing he thought was. Oh, wait. There's another question above that.
Yeah, you will see like the emoji.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know my lights. Somebody was talking about my lights dimming in and out. It's a weird lighting system. I'm working from my house right now, and I have this weird lighting system. Some people say NFT with low price, but I hope this project create big hype soon. Yeah, as you know, I'm not going to get too deep into price. I understand the concern, though, Prasad. And the more value we create, the more community we grow, the more reason people will have to want to keep their NFTs and grow the community. Okay. Keep going. If there would be domestic transport here around, I would buy all NFTs there are. That's from Tisson. Yeah, Tisson lives somewhere where he's kind of rural and doesn't have good access to public transit and green. Public transport is bad in my area. That's from, I think, Nancy. Would be cool, and my e-car would count. I've mentioned this in previous AMAs, I think, but it's on our roadmap. We have a plan, but we haven't validated it will work yet. And we're busy building all these other things on chain and everything. But when we have room to breathe, we want to work on the EV car. You're not the only one. There's other community members and also big companies. Yesterday, I had a call with one of the biggest. They are a fleet operator for companies. So companies around the world often have like a car program, whether that's for like their salespeople have to travel around to their office for their executives or whatever. So there's companies around the world who hire companies to help them just manage their fleet of cars. And as you can imagine, increasingly these fleets are becoming electrified. And yesterday I had a call with one of the largest fleet operators in the world for doing this for companies. And they have a big electric vehicle program. In fact, the person I was speaking with was in charge of their electric vehicle fleet program. And they want us to support EVs inside Wheelcoin, of course, because then it makes sense for their business. So we agree with you that we will eventually need to support it. It's harder. It's not just using passive detection of how you're moving, because it looks just like a normal car to our detection system. So we have to add a new layer of detection, which we have a plan for, but it's confidential what we plan to do, and we haven't tested it yet. But I agree with you. Let's see. People referring to different transit in their community. Here's a question from Andrew. If the collectibles will not be on chain prior to the end of the challenge, we consider extending the challenge to allow. Yeah. So yes, the answer is yes there, Andrew. We are extending the minting period for the current collectibles program until at least we now have the collectibles on chain at a minimum. We might extend it a little longer than that, but I expect within the next month or so, we will stop minting of the OG collectibles that we currently have, the 100, and start minting new ones like from these cities that are joining the Wheelcoin for Cities program. Tisson said applaud. Oh, that's the scan. I think you are excited about the Scandinavian opportunity. Yeah, so are we. Uh, I think it's huge. I think it's huge for growing our community. It's awesome for the impact we can have with Wheelcoin on a global basis. We're now talking to cities literally around the world about this, and we needed the first cities to agree because cities are conservative, they're governments and they don't want to take risk. And Wheelcoin's a very blockchain, tokenization, move to earn. You don't think of governments doing that stuff, right? So they're cautious, but yet cities are also really looking for innovative ways to get people to do things like this, to be more sustainable. And so we're starting to get some. Now that we've got board, it should be easier for us to get other cities. And we're talking to cities in Latin America and North America right now. But excited to go after other cities in the world, Australia, Asia, Japan, Korea, India, obviously all of them. Okay, Prasad, I suggest only improve collectibles because when we try to redeem, more duplicates are coming. Well, that's on purpose, basically, right? Like
Yeah,
the
that's the
design
way
of the
games works,
collectible.
right?
What's that?
That's the way games work in general, you know.
Exactly. It's random. It's random, and basically, the formula is 10% of the time you should get a gold. Now, it doesn't always work that way. Our CTO just said he's burned maybe 100 Wheelcoin because he doesn't move as green as I do because he works from home. So he doesn't earn as much Wheelcoin as I do. So I think in the span of since we launched Wheelcoin, he's earned like 100 Wheelcoin, and he's burned it all trying to get the collectibles. He told me the other day he still doesn't have one gold. Now, if the formula is 10% of every purchase of minting of a WHL, a burning of a WHL to get a collectible should be gold, then if you've spent 100, by math, you should have about 10 golds. And he's got 0. So he's had really bad luck. I have 12 of the 20, plus I have, I think, 6 duplicates gold. But so yeah, I have a lot of duplicates. I've probably burned over 300, maybe 400, I don't know, on collectibles. And I only have 92. So that means I basically have 250 or 300 duplicates. I think if everyone tried to sell their duplicates at the same time, the value of the duplicates on chain, it won't be great. This is not investment advice. This is not advice for you. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep my duplicates and gradually release some in the market. And the money I make from those, which won't be much, I expect, will be used to buy the ones I don't have. But then I'm going to keep the other duplicates. Why? Because this is just, if I didn't believe in what we're building and what we're doing and how big this will be eventually, then I'd be a terrible founder, right? A terrible CEO. Like, I should be fired. So I believe so much in what we're doing and how big this can be that, I think the OG collectibles, just like the OG NFT, they could be very valuable. I don't want to say more than that because I don't want to create, it's not FOMO. I'm not trying to say anything about price because I will be. But yeah, imagine if, just do this thought exercise for a minute. We have, honestly, in the thousands of users. We don't have hundreds of thousands of users. If you look at, say, Sweatcoin, they have over 100 million users. I personally don't know why Wheelcoin couldn't eventually be that big. The region with the 3 cities that we just signed up has over 1 million people just in that region. They're going to be spending their own money to market for their community to download Wheelcoin. Now imagine we do this all around the world. Over time, why couldn't Wheelcoin have tens of millions or hundreds of Now imagine we stop minting the OG collectibles a month from now. While there's only several thousand users around the world. Well, think about this. When we tie the WFT distribution for both the initial airdrop, 2% of the and the ongoing community. And one of the things that influences the rate of earning of WFT is, do you have all 100 OG collectibles? Do you have one or more OG NFT? How green are you moving? All these things are going to influence your stuff later. Well, what might that do to the value of all my duplicates that I've kept in my wallet? Feel like it's worth selling them. What might that do if in the future we have 100 million users and we've only emitted, I don't know, because I don't know the data on this, but let's say it's pick a collectible in here. Let's go, I don't know, who was it that said, Prasad said they had a collectible. They could say which. I'm looking at one. I have Berlin Hoppenhof. I have 7 total. So I have 6 extra. All right. Imagine there's been 10,000 Berlin Hoppenhofs minted so far by our to get. I don't know the data, I really, but imagine there's 10,000. Fine. Most of us who've been actively using this over the last several months probably already have that one. It's not a gold. If you've spent enough Wheelcoin, you've probably got it. All right. And you might have duplicates. Fine. But if we minted 10,000 and we end up with 100 million users or 10 million users, so 10% of the size of Sweatcoin, let's just start with that. What if a percentage of all those users also want to have 100 OG collectibles? What if they want the OG NFT? Because it ties into the WFT distribution as well. So this is my mindset. I would suggest for those who like what we're building and believe in it to consider more of a HODL mentality, but that's not advice. I shouldn't say that. My view is a HODL mentality because we're building and how big this could be over time. And yeah, I won't say more about that.
Okay, we have 6 more minutes. Just to let you know, guys, the link for the oath will be available only until tomorrow. Yeah. And what else? Yeah, I need to ask you a special favor, guys. You know, Celo launched this the Celo Builders Award, and you can tag us there to nominate us as well. That will be amazing, guys, if you can do that. Tag us.
Thanks,
there,
Danielle. Yeah.
so we can get that award. That will be very important for us. Thank you, guys.
Moko has a great recommendation that the city they live in is could actually be an adopter of Wheelcoin for cities and is asking for help. So Danielle, can you and I take that offline with Moko, explore which city it is and help them prepare with the content they would need to reach out, and either you or I could even join a call depending on what language and everything, or just give them what they need to start the conversation.
Yes, that will be awesome. Thank you. I think Moko is from the Netherlands, I think. You mentioned that earlier.
And I actually just reached out to someone in the Netherlands today, as a matter of fact, in Eindhoven, and Amsterdam. So I've made initial outreach to them, but I know some people high up in the government cities, because I don't know how many of you know, I used to be in the smart city space I've been in the smart city space for like 15 years now. So I have a pretty good network, but Yeah, well, we would love help, and I think when a local citizen or resident tells their elected officials or others that they would like to, it can help. Even if we have credibility to talk to them as well, like having a community member who lives in that community saying they want their city to adopt it, then that could definitely help. So we would appreciate it. Cool.
Yeah, I don't think we have
So I
more
guess
questions.
we're oh, there's more questions or no?
No, no, no more questions.
Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the alpha, and thanks for your patience and staying with us. We're, building a lot. I know sometimes you wish we were building faster, but building software is not as fast as you would like, and we're trying to do a lot and do it the right way and build the community the right way for a sustainable, scalable wheel coin over time. And it takes time to do all this the right way. But we're excited about where we are, where we're going, and the community we have. And thanks to Danielle as well. I think most of you would agree that we've had a improvement in the way we're engaging with our community since Danielle has joined. So I appreciate that as well. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, boy. Thank you very much, guys.